Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully, this will be the last. Hopefully, this will be the last break in transmission before the program ends today. Okay. You know me by now. When it breaks like this, I do a playlist and I send out the link for the playlist so that you can get to watch it seamlessly. Okay. I apologize. Through no fault of mine, I do not control the radio waves or frequencies. Okay. So I just have to go with the flow. Thank you for staying with me and staying tuned. Mwah. Love you. So I was giving you the story about this sentence mayor Belnavis, Michael Belnavis. I think I'm going to start back from that paragraph where I said the Sunday Gleaner investigation has also uncovered that when whispers started growing louder about the construction, the firm, City Mall Management, rushed to submit a letter requesting a no objection from the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, which is chaired by Belnavis, the Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Ocherius Division. It is the latest in a series of questionable practices, some made public by this newspaper, referring to the Gleaner, by developing the corporation that manages the affairs of the Garden Parish, and now the subject of a probe by the Integrity Commission, Jamaica's main anti-corruption watchdog. The Sunday Gleaner has obtained a copy of the letter signed by Michael Hill, a manager of the company who shared directorship with Belnavis, based on Company's Office of Jamaica Records. Guys, if you're calling me while I'm doing this program, it means you're not watching my program. When you're watching my program, you recognize I am live on YouTube. I cannot take a phone call unless you're calling into the program, which you're not. So I can take no personal perfect calls at this point in time when I'm live on YouTube. Okay, you should be watching. You should be watching the program and enjoying the program and giving me my thumbs up. That's what you should be doing right now. Giving me my thumbs up for the program and enjoying watching the program. Okay, guys. So as I was saying, the Sunday Gleaner has obtained a copy of the letter signed by Michael Hill. Michael Hill is the manager of the company who shares directorship with Belnavis based on the company's Office of Jamaica Records. Hill, a contractor, confirmed his signature on the document that was dated May 12, 2020, and addressed to Rovell Morris, the Chief Executive Officer of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation. Parish officials wrote on the letter June 5th, indicating when they received it, before referring it to the Chief Engineering Officer and the Director of Planning. What happened after that remains a mystery. City Mall asked for permission to construct a wash station for sanitary use on grounds of the public One Love Park in Ocherius that it was already building without the required permits. It said a site plan, which the Gleaner News team have not seen, was attached to the letter. To make its case, City Mall said the facility will be extremely helpful in light of the coronavirus pandemic and for use by the public when Wi-Fi is installed in the park. How disingenuous. But Gleaner Probe suggests that a wash station was never the intention for the structure, and instead it was supposed to house a business operation. The wash station, the Sunday Gleaner understands, proved a convenient excuse as questions about the work bubbled to the surface. Construction also reportedly started at least a month before the letter was submitted for approval. Contents of the letter claiming he only signed it as it was presented to him. So I just think like a canary now, guys. Boy, we don't know, he said when asked why permission was not sought before work started. Me have to go find that out. Me only signed it because something was going on, he said. Asked to confirm his role as manager, he said, so them say, but me no manage it. Them do everything them want. I signed some letter because them said them doing this thing down there. Me say corruption can't run as a country, you know. Hill did not elaborate on what he meant and to whom he was referring to as them. Telephone calls to him since then have gone unanswered. Emails, telephone calls, and phone messages to Belnavis and his office have also gone unanswered. Questions to the CEO on actions taken after the letter was received have also not been answered. So Friday afternoon, hours after news came of the demolition of the structure, leaving its concrete floor, The local government ministry, to which municipalities report, responded to questions sent last Wednesday saying investigations are being undertaken. A Sunday Gleaner team visited the park on June 18th, where the unfinished structure was seen on the property, which adjoins the Town Centre Plaza, a 10-year-old complex owned by Mayor Belle Davis. Under the Building Act, a permit is required before any construction can be done in a parish, and approval could take up to 3 months. The law also allows for emergency construction without notice, but before the end of 24 hours, such a notice must be submitted to the parish authorities. There are a lot of other processes to lease or buy government land. Building without a permit could result in a stop notice for the immediate cessation of works until a plan is submitted and approved. Conviction in the courts could see a fine of up to 10% of the estimated cost of the construction or up to 4 years in prison. When the new building law took effect in 2019, a strident local government minister Desmond McKenzie promised rigorous enforcement of the regulations, mainly through local authorities. The person said, not calling any names. Yeah, we can't continue like this. We can't continue like this. It's not like people do not know what is going on. They just refuse to act. I'm just sorry for the CEO. Let me get a little bit more. I'm not giving you the word. Let me get a little bit more. So, Neville Williams, a one-term former JLP counsel for Ocho has questioned why the company had not followed the letter of the law. I am concerned about the kind of leadership that Belle Nevis brings to the table, he said. But it's not the first time that the Centre authorities have had issues with entities associated with Belle Nevis and its building codes. In December 2008, the then known St. Anne Parish Council took D&M Enterprise Limited to court and obtained orders forcing compliance with the law in relation to the park and to the complex now called Town Centre Plaza, whose entrance is through the park. Belle Nevis was a defendant in the matter because, he owns the plaza. All right. I'll leave it there for you guys. You can formulate your own opinions. Yeah. I think I give you enough information for you to make informed decisions. Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, what I want to give you now is international news, guys. And my program, of course, with some international news. So, in international news, according to Antiguan Prime Minister, Mr. Gaston Brown, one second. Yeah, sorry. So, according to Antiguan Prime Minister Mr. Gaston Brown, Leeward Islands Air Transport, which is LEAT Airlines, is to be liquidated and a new entity formed. You heard it, guys. You heard it right. Barbados Today, the paper, the media, Barbados Today, quoted the Prime Minister as saying, a decision will have to be made to collapse it, and then maybe the countries within the region will have to come together to form a new entity. Poor Dominica. Dominica depends on this airline, right? All right, so let me give you the story, guys. Let me give you the story. So, so the Prime Minister said there'll be a meeting of all shareholders shortly to discuss collapsing LEAT. Quote, COVID would have actually, let's say, increased the losses exponentially. So whereas in all of 2019, LEAT made a loss of about 12 million EC dollars, that was within the means of the shareholder governments to subsidize, Brown told local radio in Antigua. You would have found that since COVID, the planes have been grounded. They have to pay the lease payments and they're not getting any revenue. A decision will have to be made to collapse it then, and maybe the countries in the region will have to come together to form and you cannot have an integration movement if people cannot connect. Brown said, the region moving forward without a form of connectivity, and you cannot have an integration movement if people cannot connect. Brown said, the new entity will require full cooperation with a mixture of public and private capital. What I'm hoping that we do not have going forward with the new entity, he says, if anything in CARICOM, is LIAT. And this has been the case for several decades. So I just hope that we're not going to have countries within the region opportunistically fighting us to get the headquarters in their country to displace Antigua and Barbuda. LIAT was established in 1956 on the island of Montserrat. In 1971, Courtline Aviation of the UK acquired Caribbean governments in 1974, and it was renamed LIAT 1974 Limited. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Brown said the formation of the new entity must be done swiftly. Back in 1974, when LIAT was collapsed, my understanding is that it took a day to start the new operation of the new entity. Maybe a little more difficult to get it done within 24 hours. And I understand that there are a number of stakeholders that we have to satisfy, especially creditors. And I believe that we could do a workout with the various creditors and to literally get some arrangement in which they can accept that we're not conveniently closing LIAT 74 Limited. Some cuts on their liabilities in order to facilitate the creation of a new and viable and sustainable entity, Brown said. Yeah, you heard it, guys. And like I said, I am only sorry for countries like Dominica who depend solely on LIAT. Yeah, LIAT to go. And so we only hope and pray that it takes no more than a 24-hour period. And you're hearing, you said this before, it's going to take longer, of course, under the circumstances. This is not 1974, this is 2010. So, yeah. These countries, guys, they need some good ferry systems, because all of these countries that are so close to each other, they should have some really good ferry system, to go between, inter-island, don't they? Yeah. I don't know, guys. I can't give you more than my two cents on this particular story because I don't have more information, and I have to have some more information before I can make an informed decision on myself to give to you. I just give you the story as it came to me. I pass it on to you. And the last story for the day, guys, before I end the program today, is concerning Beijing, China. Yes, going all over to Kong, ahead of the expected approval by Chinese lawmakers of a controversial national security law for the city. I remember I gave you that story, guys, last month. Go back into my library and watch that episode that I gave you about this new law that they're trying to enact that's going to take away Hong Kong's rights. Yeah, the country is moving forward on a security law that would punish subversion and other offenses against the state in Hong Kong, which saw massive and sometimes violent pro-democracy protests last year. On Friday, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration said it was restricting U.S. visas for a number of unspecified Chinese officials for infringing on the autonomy of the Asian financial hub, Hong Kong. In response, law will never prevail. To target the U.S. above wrongful actions, China has decided to impose visa restrictions against American individuals who have behaved egregiously on matters concerning Hong Kong, Zhao said. China's top lawmaking committee is expected to adopt the law during sessions that end tomorrow, Tuesday. So, guys, I will stop there because I'm going to wait for that to bring the rest of the story to you and then give you my 2 cents. Absolutely. So stay tuned, guys. You don't want to miss tomorrow's episode. Stay tuned. The thumbs up, man. Where's my thumbs up? Didn't you not enjoy the program today? Did you not learn something from the program today, guys? If you learned something that you did not know before, give me a thumbs up. If you found the program instructive, give me a thumbs up. If you were entertained by the fact that it fell so many times, give me a thumbs up. Yes, guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you spending the time with me this afternoon. Yes, we had some interruptions right? But you know, sometimes coffee, sometimes tea. And in everything, I give thanks to my Father, Lord God Almighty. I do not complain. You understand? I will, call out the digital and flow, and I'm going to call them out today again, flow, right? But here's the point. All I'm going to say on that subject, guys, is that the Jamaican government cannot bail out digital and flow. No. I'd rather see the resurrection of telecommunications of Jamaica owned by the government or some other stakeholders coming to the fore to put in, their 2 cents into the pot to start the pot. We need some competition. Yeah? We needed competition from a long time, and now more than ever, it is proven that before you bail them out, if they must collapse, let them collapse. But there's no bailing out of the digital and flow because they have not been giving us good service. If you didn't see yesterday's program, guys, go watch yesterday's program. I talk about the story about yesterday. So go and watch yesterday's program, guys. You understand? Because we're not bailing them out. They claim that we have to bail them out because we need them. Really? And they talk about to continue to give us good service, otherwise we're going to get poor service. We are already getting poor service. It can't get no poorer. Well, it could, but we won't go there, right? Okay? So right now, and I'm not being ungrateful, but your service is poor and you know it. And you got to do better. And if you don't do better, guess what? You're going to be displaced. The platform Omega News JA. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Tuesday at midday, God willing, for another episode of Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. Until then, I say to you, stay blessed and be a blessing. Love you. Bye. And guys, there's a PS. Saharan dust out there. Not as bad as last week, to be honest with you, but it's still out there. Be careful, wear your masks, especially if you have respiratory illnesses, asthma, etc., COPD. Wear your mask, guys, and protect yourself, okay? And of course, remember, we're still in a pandemic, so you got to practice infection control measures anyway, physical distancing anyway, and wearing your mask anyway, all right? Okay, guys. So until I see you tomorrow, bye. Love you.